She just wanna work and pay her bills. Fuck up on a man who keep it real.
That's right.
She just want her girls to know the deal.
They do.
She just told her boss just how she feel.
Fuck you.
She just hit the club up on a Thursday. Told the bartender I ain't feeling thirsty. Took a couple shots just like it's her birthday. Hit the tree.
What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another amazing episode of We Don't Sip Tea, We Drink Wine. Now, I'm your girl, Miss JLH, and this is like a surprise episode I'm doing. I usually don't put out episodes on Mondays, so yeah. Life has been lifing, as it has been for a lot of us out here. So I haven't been consistent with my content again this year. I'm not stressing it. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. It's just that I do hate when I say, okay, I'm coming back, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then I don't stay with it. Now, granted, I haven't been consistent with my podcast for real. I've been, doing it and not doing it, but I've been consistent with other things that I have going on. So I started writing a lot more. So I'm trying to finish a book this year. I'm also hosting another show with a friend, AJ from Hip Hop the Vibes podcast. Make sure you check it out. I'll put it in the description and everything. But yeah, I've been hosting another podcast with another friend called Sipping and Vibes, where we review albums that we love, don't love, whatever the case may be. We're just reviewing albums. I do R&B, he does hip hop. We do that every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We also, not we, but I also write for lipstickandlyrics.com. I review R&B albums. I also review movies, which is what I'm doing today. And I also review shows as well sometimes, but either way, you can check me out at lipsticksandlyrics.com. I'll also put that down in the description. You can follow me on all streaming and social media platforms under We Drink Wine, to be honest. Like I said, I'm trying to be more consistent with content, but life is life, and y'all, and I don't always feel like it. But I am realizing in this season that I'm so grateful for my friends. So right now I'm dog sitting for one of my best friends, but I'm really grateful for my friends in this season. And I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for realizing that I need to lean on my friends and my village in this season. I didn't realize there were going to be so many people in my corner in this season of my life. So I am very grateful for that. Typically, I really feel alone and by myself and feeling like I'm handling and dealing with everything by myself. But now I got so many people checking in on me. It's like, dang, I want to be by myself. So it's like you really can't please a Gemini out here in these streets, but but no, I love it so much, and I really am appreciative, even though I'm coming off unappreciative. I'm really not. I really do appreciate who God has sent me in this season to get through the things that I need to get through this year. This year has been really tough. Just for me, for a lot of people that I know. Um, yeah, and just the world. The world is suffering. So what I like to do to escape is watch movies, preferably horror movies. I'm obsessed with horror, okay? I could watch horror movies every day, all day long. Seriously, like I can. My mama is the reason for that. She started me out very young with horror movies from slasher to hauntings to what zombies, whatever it was. If my mom loved it, I ended up loving it, and I just ended up loving horror movies. I'm a fan. So I had a huge horror uh playlist or weekend, whatever you want to call it. And I was gonna get a book too, but I didn't want y'all to see this scary mask that my friend had in her house. So I was trying to move. Look, I moved anyway, so whatever. You're gonna see it anyway, but I moved too much. But it's a freaky mask and it gives demon, but it's not the one. I be forgetting it's even there. But it's perfect to tie in with this. So this weekend I went to go see Sinners. I hope y'all ran it up. I hear that it's the number one movie in the box office this past weekend. Shout out to y'all. Now this is a Ryan Coogler film, okay? Ryan Coogler is in the building again. You know, I like this movie a lot. I did. I'm not gonna say I loved it. I liked it a lot. I There's a reason for that. But and it was a great movie. It was definitely a great movie. Now, it was not worth $17. And the movies really gotta figure something out. I understand we're not going like we used to, but god damn. And then, not to mention, I had to pick between theater seats and reclining seats. So the movie was shot in IMAX or whatever it was shot in, and then and or 4K Ultra HD. It was shot in something special, so you could see it in a certain theater. You could see it in 4K, you could see it in IMAX, you could see it standard. You feel me? I saw that. I didn't even look at the 4K tickets because I already knew that shit was going to be high. I looked at the IMAX tickets. That shit was $30. I had to not see it in IMAX. I definitely saw it in standard, but then they gave me the option of theater seats and reclining seats, and that pissed me off even more because I'm like, now we charging for the seats, for the comfort. Like, bitch, if you want to recline, you gotta pay another 10. Ding. AMC is struggling. So I paid my $17, but I was not happy about it. I'm telling you that. But Sinners was the movie that I saw this weekend. Yo, I did like this movie a lot. It's been a minute since we had a good vampire flick. Let's say that, okay? It's been a long time. Now, let me tell you what the movie was about, real quick. Let me give you a quick synopsis because after I give you this quick synopsis, if you have not seen the movie, you need to hop off and go watch it. If you don't care about spoilers, then that's fine. That's cool. Stay here. But I'm letting you know now, this is about to be spoiler galore, okay? So here we go. The synopsis. In 1932 Mississippi, Sammy Moore staggers into his father's church with a large. Okay, I'm not reading all that. Let me give you something short. Okay, Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther and Creed, and starring Michael B. Jordan, comes a new vision of fear sinners. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. I love this synopsis because even in the movie, Michael B. Jordan's character, he was asked, one of the brothers was asked, why did they come back? And he said, Chicago ain't all that. It's the same thing, honestly, as it is in the South when you black. Just might as well come back to the same evil we already know. That was such a foreshadowing line because it's like the foreshadowing in here was crazy, but that one part was a good foreshadowing line because they came back, but it wasn't to an evil they knew at all. So anyway, it's been a minute since we had a really good ass vampire film, and I was really excited about this movie because I do love vampire flicks. However, Twilight really ruined it for me, and then you fans of Twilight ruined it for me, and I just really just be so disgusted that y'all still hype up those movies. Glitter and Vampires just made no fucking sense, and that just pisses me off every single time, every time. So moving on. Okay. Michael B. Jordan is playing two characters in this movie, y'all. Now, he's playing both Smoke and Stack, the brothers that came back to town. There was so many elements in this movie. Now, before I go into the elements of the movie that dealt with the brothers, I want to talk about Michael B. Jordan's accent. I really didn't think he was going to be able to pull that off, but it really wasn't as bad as I had heard it before in previews. So bravo there, because I was high key worried about that accent, y'all. As a Southern girl myself, my family roots is from North Carolina. You feel me? I know what Southerners sound like. Literally, my whole entire mom side of my family has a country accent. So, if he didn't do it right, I was just gonna I was gonna actually the whole movie didn't do bad. I didn't cringe at all with anyone's accent in the movie. So that's a blessing, seriously, because voices do something to me. Also, I want to shout out to Michael B. Jordan for being able to play dual characters. That's hard to do, y'all. That's really hard. You have to give a personality to each character. You know what I'm saying? Both of the brothers were very different. So I thought it was really awesome that he was able to give distinct characteristics for each brother. One brother was more high strung, more by the book, more this needs to be done, rules, be careful. The other brother was more lax, more chill back, more just free and just out there. You feel me? He was about the money, he was about the girls, and the other brother wasn't on that type of time. He was about the money, but he was about the business and everything like that. So I love the way he was able to definitely have them distinct, and that was fire. Um Now, the one element that I really wanted to talk about with the brothers in here that Ryan Coogler was able to highlight in here. So, in the movie, the brothers left their home, okay, the Delta. They left the Delta and then they come back. Um, they left for Chicago, but now they come back with all this money and then they want to open a juke joint in the South where they're from, where they used to sharecrop. Now, if you know anything about sharecropping is pretty much legalized slavery. You know what I'm saying? Back then, after slavery was abolished, a lot of people, so it was either you stayed and you figured that shit out or you left and you migrated wherever we migrated to. And a lot of people did migrate. That's why we all over. I mean, niggas is in Alaska and it still trips me out to this day. But but anyway, we if you stayed, you feel me, a lot of people would stay on the plantation. But um not me looking back like something. I heard a noise. A lot of people stay on the plantation, but they had to now pay these people. But here was the catch, okay? White people, racism didn't go away because slavery went away. White people were angry about it. So what they did was they was scamming with the sharecropping thing. You got to stay, you got paid in pennies for real, and you got to stay on the property. You got the rent from them, but your rent was sometimes higher than what you were getting paid in wages. You feel me? If you got food from them, you had to pay for that. If you had to get clothes from them or tools from them or something, you had to pay for that. So it was just like a scamming ass business to keep people in debt and enslaved, enslaved for longer times. And yeah, so that's what that was. So the fucked up thing with the brothers was, for me, was you coming back to open up this business. This is like black capitalism at its finest, and it was really nasty work. Mind you, this is 1932. This movie is taking place. So you come back to your family, your friends, your people, and you open up a business, but you don't even open up a business that really benefits them. Yeah, it's a juke joint. Yeah, you playing music. Yeah, you dancing and stuff. But you also selling liquor to people who are already more than likely are alcoholics, some type of addict. You feel me? But you do it anyway for the money, thinking you going bank off your own people, not giving a fuck. And then you open up and realize you really ain't make the money that you thought you was gonna make because you opened up to a bunch of sharecroppers. Make it make sense. They don't need. They're barely making it. They're barely making it. They're barely making it. And I just thought it was very crazy. I just thought that aspect was so insane. So that was an interesting part of like the capitalist side of it. Black capitalism is a thing for me, and it does bother me. At the end of the day, when you make a lot of money, when you have a lot of money, and some way, shape, or form, you will be um stepping on somebody. You will be getting over on somebody. That's just how it works, unfortunately. I have yet to see people make money and really like not be evil as fuck or be tied to some type of evil. Um, I mean, I could be wrong. I just haven't seen it. That's all. What I also loved about this movie is the story of Sammy. So Sammy is played by hold on. He's played Sammy Moore. He's played by oh, dang. Hold on. I gotta find it. But anyway, the story of Sammy is really good. Um I like that. Oh, it's played by Miles Caton, and he actually was the background singer for her. I found out. I didn't know that. But so Sammy is not just a guitar player. He's not just a musician. He's a singer and everything like that. But he's also the preacher's son. You know, he's the pastor's kid. He is honestly in line to be pastor next of this church. You know what I'm saying? What I love so much about this story of Sammy. So if you ever heard of the story of Robert Johnson, I don't have a picture of him, but look him up when you get a chance. Robert Johnson, the story of Sammy was kind of similar because it was interesting. So at the beginning of the movie kind of starts so weird. You're like not understanding. Sammy's walking through the church, bloodied, and all he has is like a broken guitar handle in his hand. And you see, like he just went through it. He went through it, okay? But it's like his dad is telling him, son, give up the music, give up the devil, give up the devil. It's nothing but the devil. You know, you're not gonna, you're chasing the devil. You're not chasing anything else. You need to come to God, pretty much. what I loved about this is it reminded me of Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson has two verified autographs, like, well, photographs, not autographs, screaming. Photographs that we know of to this day. He only produced 29 songs, but he's the man who is, legend has it, he sold his soul to the devil in order to become a better rock player, a better blues player, just a better guitar player, a better player, period. And he got increasingly better. At first he was like, okay, but then after a while, he got better. So supposedly he sold his soul to the devil, and this movie really was dope about, how they showed that it's like the music is known as being the devil's work. The devil in the Bible was the angel of music or whatever. So I said or whatever. My bad. On Easter Sunday, Lord. I mean, or whatever. It's the facts, but definitely read your Bible. But yeah, he was the angel of music out here in these streets. And so I just think it's interesting the way that they tie in all of those religious and folklore aspects. I also love the aspect of the interracial relationship in the movie. The brother, I think Smoke it was dating Haley Steinfeld's character. Well, not dating her, but they was definitely messing around or whatever, some secret shit. That white woman right there. Um, yeah, they was messing around or whatever, but of course it's the 30s, so you really can't have those type of relationships. And so they touched that aspect or whatever, and how he pushed her away, and how he pretty much did it so she wouldn't be hurt, not only just by him, but the simple fact that they're black and white. Like, you can't have that in the South. I also love the touch of um hoodoo in Christianity. So this movie, Wumi Mosaku, she plays Stacks. I think it's Stack. I probably got the brothers mixed up, y'all. I'm really sorry, but she's dating one of the brothers too. And she's actually the hoodoo priestess or queen or whatever you want to call her. She does the hoodoo in the movie or whatever. So she like knows a lot of what's going to happen or whatever. Now, black people as a whole, especially religious black people, don't know nothing about hoodoo for real. Because the two, hoodoo and Christianity, tie in so much. Like, the two are synonymous. Hoodoo uses Christianity, actually. Like, the two really do go hand in hand. Um so much. The same way I found out voodoo and Catholicism, or voodoo and Christian, like whatever your religion is, and if you want to practice voodoo, it just goes hand in hand. Nothing is evil about it at all. You're still praying to God. You're just also using the divine intervention of your ancestors and other spirits who have walked this earth and who have been here and done things for you, or prior to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot. Definitely check it into it, but the two go hand in hand. A lot of the superstitions that we have within the black community, not putting your purse on the floor, not sweeping over your feet, uh not answering somebody when they call you and you just hear somebody randomly saying your name. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are a lot of hoodoo practices, like things. Not splitting a pole. It's like superstitions, but a lot of that comes from hoodoo. So I think that element of these two intertwining within the movie is an interesting element, especially in the South. That was big. I know in my family, my great grandmother, um, she wasn't practicing in anything, but there was little things that she did. Like I found out she would have sage behind every corner in the house or every door in the house and stuff like that. Like there was certain elements of hoodoo that my great grandmother would bring into her life. So I just thought that was interesting. Now, again, I stand by saying that we haven't had a good vampire movie in a really long time. I feel like Interview with the Vampire or Interview with the Vampire, however you want to say it. And then Lost Boys, um, is that what it's called, right? Because I can't remember that one. With all them white people, that was crazy. That was yeah, it is the Lost Boys. Okay, I had to make sure. Because I did love that movie as a kid, but I couldn't remember what I haven't seen it in a really long time. But The Lost Boys and The Interview with the Vampire are like two of my favorite vampire movies, to be honest. But they're not the only good vampire movies, but those are just my favorites. I would say Sinners is definitely ge- could could gear up to be something like that. I'm not saying it's there yet because I just think that there were certain elements within it missed and it could have had, but it was already such a long movie. And also, I think this movie is probably just setting it up for like another movie. I love that Ryan kept the tradition of vampires being foreign as fuck. In this movie, the vampire is Irish. I also love the connection of like, um, what was I gonna say? The connection of oh, the connection of the Asian clerks. Because if you know anything about the history in the South, um, a lot of Black people were denied loans to start businesses and things like that. So while Asian communities were being pushed out in various places because white people wasn't fucking with them, a lot of them did venture south and stuff like that. So Asian people being in the Delta is not something surprising or brand new, but also Asian people were given loans for their businesses. However, it was a stipulation to that. It's like the government purposely was like, "Oh, you have to open up in Black neighborhoods." Like we're forcing y'all to really like hate each other for our racist reasons. And that's the history of Asians in the Black community, and also America being shitty as fuck always. Hate it. Um the Klan selling and burning the business, or like the Klan pretty much, which I already knew that man was a part of the Klan. You could just tell. And calling them boy, come on. But the Klan pretty much sold them the space and the land for their juke joint. But the Klan had decided that they was going to run them out. They at the end of the morning they was going to kill everybody and just run them out of town or whatever, and just take the money anyway. Um, that was a layer to this that wasn't surprising to me because that seemed like something that would have really happened anyway in real life. So yeah, that was cool. Like I said, there was a lot of foreshadowing in this movie. I really enjoyed that. The one foreshadowing wasn't the only thing. Also, when they're dancing in the barn and everything is burning around them, that was like another foreshadowing. of like the end of the movie. And what was another foreshadow? I know I'm missing some. Please let me know in the comments if you already saw the movie. Let me know what foreshadows you know about and what you saw that I may be missing. But ultimately, this movie was good. I definitely give it like a, I would say like a 3.5. Three, 3.5, 4 out of 5, you know. Um it was just a slow start. It was a slow start, but again, I feel like this movie will probably lead to other movies. Maybe it'll become like a whole franchise or something like that. That'll be cool. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are a phenomenal dynamic team. They work really well together. They make nothing but magic so far. From Fruitvale Station to Creed to Black Panther and now this. It's so funny and beautiful to see Ryan's lineup of film work. And it all involves Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like people said, it's given very much um Jordan Peele and Daniel Kaluuya. I think I said his name off of that, and I apologize. But yeah, I wanted to share this. Um Ryan Coogler said that his two biggest influences for this film was From Dusk Till Dawn, which came out in 96, and The Faculty, which came out in 98. Now, both were directed by Robert Rodriguez, and I did not get that at all. Like, I wasn't thinking Faculty, and I wasn't thinking From Dusk Till Dawn. I totally forgot about that. So I need to watch both of those movies again. But I was definitely getting Anne Rice from it, only because, once again, the vampire thing is like, okay, you get these old ass vampires. They coming from a different country. I guess I got Anne Rice because of like the time period pieces of it. Like I like um when vampires are taken back to a certain time period and you're seeing things that happened in the past, but then you also get to see the vampire now in modern times. So while they were in the 30s, you gotta stay for the end and extra credits just to see what vampires look like in a more modern time that's not the 30s. So again, it gave me more just Anne Rice. That's all. Towards the end, like just with that ending and just the time period and stuff. Also, it gave me who was the other movie I was thinking of that it reminded me of? Mm, I can't think of it right now, but circle back. But like I said, y'all, I was having a horror movie weekend, and this was not the only movie I saw. I just wanted to talk about that real quick and all the elements I saw in it. But if I missed anything, please let me know and hit me up. I would love to talk about it because I really did like this movie. It was fire. But I also got to see y'all the Woman in the Yard. Y'all, we should have saw this Blumhouse production and y'all did not hype this movie up enough for me. I can't believe I did not go see this movie in the theater when it first came out. Like, I waited too long because I could have been putting people onto it. This movie was scary as fuck. Now, Sinners, I only jumped once watching Sinners. Um and I really shouldn't have jumped, but I'm a punk. That's neither here nor there. But this movie now, this movie got me, y'all. This movie got me. This movie was crazy. I just didn't know this is what it was about. So let's talk about The Woman in the Yard. So it's a psychological horror film. It's directed by Joame Cole Serra. Hold on. Oh, where he from? Oh, he's from Spain. Okay. Okay. So his name is probably Wame Cole Serra. 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 Yes. Practicing my Spanish. Okay, so yeah, it is written by Sam Stefanik. Okay, now this is his feature film screenwriting debut. Now it stars Danielle Deadweiler and also this is uh Danielle Deadweiler, but it also stars Aku Ak Apokwasili. Ooh, I'm sorry if I butchered that, girl. But oh, it also stars Peyton Jackson, Estella Kahiha, and Russell Hornsby. Also, Russell Hornsby was in this show that I like called Lincoln Heights. Phenomenal actor. This movie was good as fuck. Everybody was really good in the movie, okay? I really enjoyed everyone, even the kids, and I don't even like kids in movies for real. But this movie freaks me out. So, in the movie, before we get too deep, I just want to give a quick synopsis. I forgot to give that. I'm screaming. So, she's a single widowed mother who's disabled after a car accident killed her husband, David. She cares for her two children, Taylor and Annie, but she is she is strict and emotionally distant from them. A mysterious black woman draped in black appears in their front yard, claiming that today is the day. The woman uses shadow magic to make attacks on them, and that's all I'm gonna read. Screaming. Because if you haven't seen the movie, definitely stop watching this and get out of here. Because I'm definitely about to give y'all some spoilers. This movie was good as fuck, y'all. This movie was definitely a psychological thriller. You don't realize who the woman in the well, maybe for some people you do. So here's the thing. I think I did realize who the woman. At first, I didn't realize who the woman in the yard was when when she first appeared. Um, as the movie continued to go on and certain things were happening, then I realized, is she the woman in the yard? Girl, is it you? Are you the woman in the yard? Like, what's going on, Tess? What's the tea? So you really begin to start piecing and putting things together. This movie was so I mean, beautifully written, beautifully done, beautifully acted. The acting was beautiful. Um, yeah, I love this movie. It deals with suicide, ideation, grief, loss. I mean, who can't relate to that? You know what I'm saying? It deals with picking up the pieces and putting yourself back together again. It deals with figuring shit out. It feels with leaning on your your family when you need them, you know? The mom was very determined on not only doing things by herself, but then she was also at the same time um leaning on her kid a lot. So it's like, which one, sis? You want to do things by yourself, or you need your son a lot to help you? So it was just it dealt with a lot. It dealt with a lot, and it was really well done. You can tell that the mom was really just suffering and going through it and just trying to figure it out. And grief is like that. Grief is tough. Um, no one can tell you how long you can grieve and what the process looks like. You just gotta figure that shit out. and she was figuring out the best way that she knew how. But the fucked up part is that the grief literally manifested itself, like literally manifested itself into a physical presentation of evil. So you definitely have to watch your thoughts and how you move in life, because sometimes that shit can actually manifest itself into something real. And that's what this movie showed. So beautiful movie, beautiful work. Love it. 5 out of 5. I wanted to throw in a plug of horror noir because this documentary is one of my favorite documentaries of all time. It's on Shutter, so you could probably get a free little subscription going. But Shutter has this black horror documentary, and it just talks about black horror from the very beginning to now. I would love to see an update as black horror has evolved even more now. Here we are with a movie like Sinners, you feel me? Like that. That's another thing. The cast, all that blackness, like it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So definitely check out this documentary. I loved it so much. You also saw a lot of horror greats within this documentary talking about horror. Um, you just get a nice little education and background about horror. So definitely check it out. The last movie that I checked out this weekend that I definitely wanted to talk about was Opus. Uh, I was not interested in this movie at all, but then I was just like, let me just check it out. Let me see what it's about. Okay. Our Irish Boston queen, Ayo, is in this movie. You feel me? I love her so much. She's so cool. But this movie is crazy. It kind of gives Blink twice for this movie. And but not Blink twice. So let me read the before I get into it. Because I be wanting to talk about the movie so bad, but just in case you haven't seen it, you feel me? I want you to log on. Anyway. So it's a psychological thriller film written and directed by Mark Anthony Green, a black man, by the way, y'all. And it's his feature directorial debut. It stars Ayo Edibre, John Malkovich, Juliette Lewis, Murray Bartlett, Amber Mid Thunder, Tatanka means. Okay, I'm not reading all these names. No shade, y'all. But let me get to what this is about. So it's a 1990s pop star, Alfred Moretti. He comes out of retirement to announce his new album, creating a media firestorm. Moretti invites 6 guests to attend a listening party at his Utah compound. That's where they fucked up in the first place. But let me keep reading this. Now, the journalists Ariel and her boss Stan, talk show host Clara, influencer Emily, paparazzi Bianca, and radio shock jock Bill. Upon arriving at the compound, it becomes apparent that Moretti is a part of a cult. Okay, that's all I'm gonna read. Now, if you haven't watched the movie, definitely log off to go check it out. But for those of you who don't mind staying for the spoilers, I'm about to get into it. Malkovich does a really good job playing evil as fuck. He's definitely, or just cult leader. It's funny to me, honestly. But I love the fact that this movie deals into. So now we have 2 movies that deals with. No, not just 2. I'm sure there's more, but this is like new age movies. The concepts of them dealing with cult like obsession, um, not just with people, but celebrities. So this was an interesting take. I love this. The man literally only brought these people to his compound to kill them because they talked shit about him at one point in time. So it was like his revenge on the media. And I thought that that was interesting in itself, because how many people who are famous who have had, I mean, the just name dragged through the mud. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you could really do is sue in this country, because killing people is insane. But he decides to take fate in his own hands and kill people. But that's not surprising because he's in fucking Utah. And Utah is nothing but cold anyway. You know, what once used to be native land and sacred is now just white people running amok in cults. Like when I think of Utah, all I think of is cults anyway. So, and that sucks because I'm sure Utah is so much more than that. But that's not my thought at all upon first discovery. Now, what I hated so much about this movie is how Ao's character was one of two black people for real. I mean, like for real, in the movie. You know what I'm saying? She comes in with hair like this, knowing damn well I didn't see no other black stylists in there. You feel me? This is how she comes to the compound with her hair like this. Then they give her a makeover and her hair is like this. Who did that? Because the black woman did not. I did not see the black woman go down there, go back there and do her hair. I didn't see that. So who did her hair? Those white people did not do her hair. I don't believe it. So that was just not believable for me. And that was like the only thing. But aside from that, the movie was crazy as hell. It was wild. I kind of figured it out towards I mean, I figured it out anyway once they were on the compound, and it was just weird anyway in the beginning. It was very much given blink twice, but just in a different format. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, famous people are losing it. Is what both movies are giving, but they're just losing it in different ways. I thought the cult aspect and killing paparazzi was cool because um there have been famous people known for either getting into cults, really, not necessarily starting them, but getting into them. So that's interesting. That was an interesting aspect. Now the last thing that I didn't, now this isn't a movie or a show or anything like that. This is actually just me reading and getting into not into fiction. Like I've never been into fiction. This is actually just me reading and sharing my reading with you for this month. Ooh, I'm all over the place. Screw me. So I wanted to share this book, White Smoke. Okay, if you can see it. It's by Tiffany D Jackson. It's I think it's a young adult fiction. I still fuck with young adult fiction. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, but I don't really care. But this is a creepy book. Creepy, frightening, I wanted to scream. It's by R.L. Stein. It said that. That was his quote for this book. And once I saw R.L. Stein stamp this book, I was like, what? I gotta read this. So okay. Marigold is running from ghosts. The phantoms of her old life keep haunting her. But a move with her newly blended family from their small California beach town to the embattled Midwestern city of Cedarville might be the fresh start she needs. Her mom has accepted a new job with the Sterling Foundation, which comes with a free house, one that Mari now has to share with her bratty 10-year-old stepsister, Piper. The renovated picture perfect home on Maple Street sitting between dilapidated houses, surrounded by wary neighbors, has its secrets. That's only half the problem. Household items vanish, doors open on their own, lights turn off, shadows walk past rooms, voices can be heard in the walls, and there's a foul smell seeping through the vents, which only Mari seems to notice. Worse, Piper keeps talking about a friend who wants Mari gone. But running from ghosts is just a metaphor, right? As the house closes in, Mari learns that the danger isn't limited to Maple Street. Cedarville has its secrets too, and secrets always find their way through the cracks. Y'all, this book was so damn good. I honestly didn't know it was going to turn into a psychological thriller. It's definitely more psychological than like haunting really, which you'll get to see that once you read the book if you choose to read the book. It's a very quick read. It's only like 20 something chapters. It was I love the aspect again of capitalism, of gentrification. Um there were so many elements that were being done here in this book. How the war on drugs was a thing to black communities, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot. There was a lot. And it was really fire for her to add this into her work with a supernatural element to it. Um, Here's what I want to say about black horror, because it's something that I noticed, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it's just something that I'm noticing. Black horror, I love so much, and it's so different because with black horror, you get like somewhat of an education here. With white horror, it's not really the same thing. Like with white horror, you're scared. You're just scared. You know what I'm saying? Like there's an element of there's something in town doing something and it's scary. It's terrifying. So now we have to get rid of it. And how do we get rid of it? With black horror, you're getting an element of not only is this a supernatural thing, but we also have these elements of things going on within our blackness that this is also horrifying as fuck. Like, how can you not be like, yeah, this supernatural thing is scary, but at least this I can kind of deal with. Like, this is everyday life. You feel me? That's fucking terrifying. This is terrifying that life is genuinely like this every day for me and or my people. And so that's the element of black horror that I really like, whether it's a black film or a black horror film or a black actor within the horror movie. It shows some sort of black plight, you know, some sort of view into the black plight or blackness or just the community in itself, like what we have to go through, the various things that we may have to go through just to live day to day. um so I do like that. I ain't gonna hold you. I like i like seeing it. I like seeing it presented in a way. I don't know. I don't want to say like I like seeing it presented in a way that's like scarier than it already is, because that's not necessarily what it is either. I think just the element of horror in itself allows me to be more scared of than the actual things that I have to face all the time. It's like, you know, like how in Night of the Living Dead, the black guy ends up living to the end, but then he ends up getting shot. You know, he ends up dying by the hands of the police. And it's just like, you root for this man. You root for this man the whole time. He's black. You just know that he's going to die. You know he's not going to make it because black people don't really survive and things like this. So you're rooting for this man, you're rooting for this man, and then he survives, and then that element of, well, yeah, he's black, so of course the police shot him. Like, that element of blackness, like, I'm black hits you. The reality of I'm black hits you again. After you've dealt with this supernatural thing, you know what I'm saying? This real thing. Um you got to go back into the world with this this blackness, this skin, these issues that don't go away as easy as the supernatural thing. Not that that's, obviously as black people we make the best out of it no matter what is going on around us, you know what I'm saying? But I just like that no matter what we are going through as black people, we're always finding ways to escape, escape, um heal, entertain, um connect. Yeah, it's fire. So this was my horror weekend, y'all. From the book to the movies, I highly suggest it all. Definitely check it out. Um, 5 out of 5 for the book. Um, I, Fuck it, I'm giving all the movies fives. All the movies are fives. Great writing, great just great. Check it out, y'all. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of We Don't Sip Tea, We Drink Wine. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you tune in Tuesday night for Sipping and Vibes with me and AJ. We'll be going through Based on a True Story with Will Smith and Sir's latest dual album, Heavy. Now, he already came out with Heavy, I think in 2024. He's putting it out again, added more songs to it. Not that it needed more songs per se, because I was good with what he had. However, I ain't mad at more Sir songs. You feel me? Because the nigga not gonna put out another album for another 15 years. So we gotta take what we can take. So we'll be going through that. And then also make sure you check me out on my new show, or yeah, my new show called Check-In. Okay. The Check-In with Miss JLH. Also brought to you by Lipsticks and Lyrics. Make sure you check me out there. Not only do I write, but I also do some content where I talk to artists and check in with them from wherever they are and just see what they're up to. Check in with your favorite artists, actually R&B artists to be more exact and specific, because too many times y'all are out here saying that R&B is dead, and it's so far from dead. So now I'm trying to put y'all on, let y'all know R&B is alive and well, baby. So definitely check me out. The Check-In. I'm hosting, and I will let y'all know when my next episode is. All right, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, I follow back. All right, y'all.